So let's get started with our trading today. We are trading on intrastock quotes, and this means that on all charts, we have the OTC status and the maximum payout percentage we will have. For today's trading, I have already conducted a detailed analysis of the market and came to the conclusion that today we will use this bundle with you. For example, it includes the Donchian channel with a period of 20. We remove the average moving average of this channel and said we will have a weighted average moving average with a period of 20. Also, the fractal with a period of 4 and the momentum oscillator with a period of 17. Today, we will analyze the movement within the channel indicator, also focus on searching for extreme points and receive signals from the interaction of the price with the weighted moving average. And we will also observe the volume dynamics, a simple strategy in general, and in 70% of cases, if correct, understanding the work of the indicators and the correct analysis of the market, our positions are always closed in A+ as you trade. I think you will understand everything perfectly as I will try to explain each trade in detail today. We will accelerate the deposit and most likely we will open all transactions for the maximum amount of the balance without the right to make mistakes. So I conducted a fairly serious analysis before the start of trading. We trade on a minute time frame, and let's select the first currency pair in order to open and find the most optimal entry point. So the entry point did not take long to wait. Here our position will open for an increase. Here is an upward trend, but it is not so pronounced. But in general, it is better to open a deal for an increase. Our movement has touched this structural level. And as you can see, plus or minus at this level, we received dynamic reactions. Here, we also had an update of the extreme point. The structural minimum was updated. And then we open up just to buy. We also see a slight change in volume dynamics in the upward direction. So let's look at the result. That's the entry point, 15 seconds to completion. Great. The position is closed in a super plus. Let's also make a further opening for the maximum amount of the balance. In general, I think I explained everything clearly here. So let's continue and select the next entry point. Let's try to open an upward trade here, a good entry point and good conditions for an entry point. In general, we can certainly continue the dynamics here by the nature of the general trend. We have a downward trend. In general, yes, I'll show you later, but there is such a level here. And we also have a touch of the lower moving average here. There was an impulsive downward exit from the channel indicator. We see a slight change in volumes. So here, I prefer to open higher. I hope in the next 59 seconds, some kind of dynamic reaction will occur and we will close the position in A+. Let's see the result. As you can see, the general trend is downward. And the position is closed, plus excellent. We have received a dynamic reaction. Let's also open a further deal for the maximum amount of the balance. I think everything is also clear here. I was able to explain it to you and there are no questions. So we continue and select the next entry point. And here, I probably prefer to open a position for a decline rather than an increase. We explained this deal by the fact that we had an update of the local maximum. And here we had the first touch of the lower moving average. Here we also have a touch of the lower moving average, and the fractal is not updated. So I'd rather open a position for a decline. Also, after updating the local maximum, here we see the intersection of the weighted moving average from top to bottom. And on the volumes, we also see the intersection of the average value and color changes and direction on its histogram. Let's look at the result. I think the extreme point here should be updated even lower, the last seconds before completion. Great, the position is closed in a super plus. Let's also make a further opening for the maximum amount of the balance. Let's take the risk again. In general, so far our profit is not so big, and in general, it will not be so scary to lose the amount. But anyway, of course, I do not want this, so I will also select the entry point reliably. We will continue, and let's select the following asset. And let's open a position here to increase. We had an update of the structural minimum. And after this update, we had an intersection of the weighted moving average from bottom to top just on such a pullback candle. I open a position. We also had a change in the direction of volumes. We even see a slight intersection of the average value. Therefore, here the opening for an increase is also an update of the extremum point and an update of the structural local minimum along the fractal. So here I prefer to open for an increase. Let's see the result. And the position is closed perfectly. And let's probably end up opening a couple more trades. I'm not going to risk all the profit right now, which is a pretty good result. So I'll reserve the right to make a mistake and open the first trade at $37. And if I can't find a good opening level the first time, I'll open an additional position. I think I've also explained everything very clearly here. So let's continue and select the next entry point. Here, let's take the first position. After all, I would prefer to open higher in the direction of the actual trend dynamics. And in terms of volumes, we see that the upward dynamics prevails here. This is clearly shown. After updating the global maximum, there was a pullback in dynamics. And here I do not really want to open in the continuation of the downward dynamics. In general, we have a good. But if we have an additional downward momentum, then I will just select a new entry point. But most likely, I think this will not happen for us. Just the last 10 seconds before completion. And the position is closed at a plus. Great. Let's probably open the final deal. In general, the profit on trading will more than suit me, it turned out, to make a pretty good acceleration. So let's probably open the last deal in the amount of $42. And in general, even if the position closes at a minus, I won't be too upset and just figure out what else. I think it's also possible to open a position here, but of course the candle has already shown a not very pleasant momentum. Although why not? Let's try to open a deal to increase. But of course, I feel here that I made a mistake. I actually opened the deal at a very terrible level. That is, the candle had previously shown us a good downward momentum, and the entry point had to be selected immediately. But so far, I've been thinking. I opened the deal at such a not very good level, but I hope that the exit is all it will happen. Let's look at the result. In general, our entry point is logically no different from the previous one. And as you can see, even this position is closing very confidently, in my opinion, in A+. Good trading for today. I would even say excellent trading for today. All transactions are closed in A+, and it turned out to record a good profit and make acceleration as promised at the very beginning of the video. That's it. Let's move on to the output. The amount of today's profit is $451. The withdrawal operation is being successfully performed. This is the kind of trading that has turned out for today using this set of indicators. As you can see, with proper market analysis and understanding of the indicators, we always have a fairly confident position closure. In general, a little practice, and I think everyone will be able to do exactly the same. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day, and see you soon.